Good afternoon, my name is Rhiannon Henkelman, and right now I'll be presenting Otto Stray Animal Rescue Foundation's capital campaign and the direction we're hoping to go with it. So just to review, our mission is rescue, rehabilitate, reintegrate, and educate. General about the campaign, it's our first ever capital campaign. We're very excited about it. The idea is to purchase and outfit a mobile spay-neuter clinic that'll travel with our rescue team across Ottawa. And it will be an RV van filled with equipment and cages to transport animals as well as do medical care. So our campaign goals, number one is to reduce the number of future potential strays through population control, the spays and the neuters. We also want to reduce the number of present strays and to educate people on public animal care. We want greater public outreach and marketing. We'll also be able to travel throughout Ottawa and offer our services to pet owners. This will also illustrate the need OSARP has for funding, and it will just allow us to reach more people than we've ever been able to reach before. So very briefly, our presentation outline will start with our feasibility study, and then move on to summary of case for support, then our campaign timeline, and end off with our donor prospects and how we will reach out to them. So what exactly is a feasibility study? Essentially, it is a study that determines whether or not a campaign or organization is ready to launch a campaign, and if so, what the goals and processes of fundraising would be. It gives a comprehensive idea of what the community thinks of the organization and as well how the campaign would go if we were to mount it. So the results of our feasibility study were overwhelmingly very positive. We used an impartial third party for the internal review, so to avoid bias. Knowledge and awareness, overall the public was very aware of the different activities and programs we already run. And they already knew a lot about us, which was great, means our marketing is working. Reputation, we have a great reputation within the community. People think we're doing a lot of good. They really value what we're doing, and no negative stories or anything, great feedback. Marketing was where we did have some suggestions. People want to know more personal stories about the animals. They want more personal marketing as well. And as well, they would like more social media activity, more constant posting, and just better activity in general for the younger population. Finally, philanthropy-wise, the majority, about 75% of people interviewed said they thought the campaign was a good idea and they would donate. So the 25% that's not good or bad review, it just means we'd have to convince them of the importance of the campaign. So our case for support, what exactly will happen? Review very briefly, we're still a small organization. We've been around for 8 years, have approximately 1,000 annual donors, and our A programs are generally retrieving strays, giving them attention, and then having them adopted back into the community. And we've garnered a lot of donors over across Ottawa. So we have a great need for this campaign, and we think the community will agree. Stray cats and dogs in Ottawa is a huge issue, and the campaign will help both animals, our community, and us as an organization as well. Our main goal is population control. Less animals being born means less on the streets. And we also want to educate, to hopefully reduce the number of pets being abandoned. Greater community outreach as well, if we can go visit these people personally. And it'll just give animals immediate medical attention if they need it on site as well, which is something we haven't been able to do before. Budget overall, approximately $40,000 for RV, as well as cost of marketing and just general new equipment. Approximately the new campaign cost will be about $75,000. You already know a lot about our programs. We have food litter drives, annual adoption events, as well as some more specific, larger events like our Christmas campaign and our appreciation gala. So along with this, our new campaign will add to that. So community impact for the animals and people will be huge. On site, there's going to be more medical care for the animals, which is a big issue. A lot of times we have sick or injured animals, and it's very difficult to transport them to the facility, so that's going to be a big deal to be able to help them immediately when we find them. Fewer animals being abandoned, hopefully like we've illustrated with our education, letting people know, not to give animals as pets to children if they're not ready, or as Christmas gifts, for example, letting people know the importance of animal lives and how much they need to care for them and responsibilities. We also want fewer animals being born, so if you end up on the streets, we're also able to rescue animals faster and more easily with the transport truck. And overall, it's just going to be better care and quality of life for these animals once they come into our organization. For the people, it's going to be huge as well. They're going to be better educated on animal care. We're going to provide these services for free as well. Spay and neuters is a big deal for a lot of people, and a lot of low-income families can't afford it, so it's going to be a really good opportunity for them. It's also going to help prevent unplanned pet pregnancies, which is a big deal for a lot of people. It also just means fewer strays on the streets, less roadkill, less disease, less animal waste, just generally a better thing for the Ottawa community, and fewer people abandoning their pets as well, so overall a good thing. Now for donor recognition, this is something we wanted to figure out fairly early on, although plans may develop more as we do more research. But right now we have our annual donor appreciation gala we do every year. So for the coming year, once the campaign is finished, we want to make special thank yous to all persons involved. So just make sure people feel appreciated and specifically reach out to our capital donors and our major donors. These people are very important to us. They've given a lot of money to us. We want to make sure we don't alienate them. And as well, there will be a slideshow outlining campaign from start to finish so people can really see where their funds went for this. We also do our annual donor appreciation letter as well, which goes out at the end of the year, showing everything we've done throughout the year. And we're really going to illustrate how the campaign went and, again, what their funds went to, how much they've supported us. We also send out an automatic e-thank you letter when someone donates online, so they get that straight away. As well, we're going to have a web page that shows all of our donors, big and small, so people can have their name personally listed, which will be very helpful for people to just see that we pay attention and we care. And as well, our final one, which we're very pleased with, is going to be a plaque that's put just inside the front doors of the organization. So whenever someone comes in, they'll see our major benefactors and just constant reminders of how much they've aided us. So very briefly, it might be difficult to see, but our campaign leadership for the whole organization right now, this is how we're going to break it down for the campaign. We have our chair with our board of directors, and then we have our financial director, fundraising, animal rescue operations, program, and communications director. They all have coordinators underneath who are going to be helping push through the organization of the capital campaign. So a very brief summary of the timeline. We've already completed stage 1 at this point. We've clarified the campaign objective and goal, created a case for support. We've already gone through enriching our donor list, and by that I mean reaching out to donors who have lapsed with us, strengthening bonds we already have with donors, and researching prospective donors who look like they're going to be really great opportunities for higher donors or higher donations this year. So we've already gone through that, as well. We've also conducted our feasibility study, which we discussed earlier. Stage 2, we've also gotten approval from the board of directors already. At this point, we have to start forming our capital campaign committee, which is going to be composed of members of staff as well as mostly volunteers, members of the community who've decided to come forward and help us with this. They're going to be running the campaign from start to finish, so it's important to pick people who are going to be motivated and also to try and align people to their values, what they're going to be good at, and get people who are very prominent within the community. This will help more outreach, and their status will help the campaign. Next, we have to train solicitors and then begin major gift solicitation. So these are the larger gifts. This is going to take the most amount of time. We want to develop a lot of activity and focus on towards these people. Stage 3 is the final stage. This will be our public campaign launch. So we go public with our marketing, let the community know about the campaign, and lower level solicitation. So reach out to general annual donors and people we may have not reached out to before as well. Then we'll have a public fundraising gala, which will be a very formal event, our final push through to try and make some last minute funds and get some more marketing. And then it will end with our finale with purchasing, installing, and refueling of our mobile clinic. So just here it gives you a general idea of how the outline is going to go for timing. And you can see it's going to end approximately of October. So finally, prospecting our donors, who we should target and why we should target them. These are options right now: current donors, lapsed donors. We have corporate and organization prospects, as well as our OSARF family, so the board of directors, volunteers, and staff we already have. And then finally, other public lists, other donor lists made public by other organizations and companies. So it's my professional opinion that while we should be using all of our prospect lists, the ones to focus on would be our current donors and our corporate prospects. This is because our current donors, they're where the majority of our funding comes from. So we really want to focus on them because they support us, they know us, they already contribute with us, and they're more likely to give as well as give more once they're convinced of the importance of the campaign. As well, corporate prospects are a great opportunity to break into a new market. They have a greater ability to give if we convince them of it being more of a, like a business proposal, and it would raise the credibility of OSARF in the community as well. So, just in conclusion, the campaign will raise funds for Mobile Clinic. This clinic will be very important. It'll raise the notoriety and credibility of OSARF, help with population control of animals, which is our biggest issue right now. Fewer animals will also be abandoned through education. There'll be greater public awareness of OSARF and animal care as well, which is big for us. And in general, we'll be able to help more animals and pet owners within the community than we ever have been before. Okay, thank you so much.